You guys have asked us questions and DM us about how we did it. How did you guys know that you are the one for each other? What was it that made you decided that this is the kind of woman that you want to marry? Or she this kind of guy that you want to date and get married to. So in this video, we're just going to share with you some of the highlight of our love story coming right up. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Doran.
And I'm Joan.
So we've been asked questions about our love life. How did you guys know that you guys are the one for each other? The first point that they ask us about all the time is, how did you guys met? Well, we literally met in kindergarten.
Yes.
That is the truth. We met in kindergarten. We have known each other practically all our lives. This amazing little girl walked into kindergarten one day and I couldn't keep my eyes off her. Just like I can't keep my eyes off her now, I couldn't keep my eyes off her then. And we just became the best of friends, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely true. And how did you know
Well,
that I was a girl for you?
Well, the truth be told, that we didn't know. You know, we grew up together, as I explained. You know, same school, same elementary school. We went to the same church. We got baptized. We got saved actually in the same convention,
Yes, we
right?
did. Yes, we
and then we
did.
got baptized in the same baptismal service, and
Right.
that's pretty much how our story really got started. You know, we have known each other all our lives, and that's how it has been. We have been the best of friends. And then something kind of took place along the way.
Yes, but before that,
Uh-huh.
when we started out from kindergarten all the way up to when I went to high school,
Yes.
you would always follow me around.
Yes, I always
We would
follow you
always end up having lunch together most of the time.
Yes.
Sometimes with friends, and sometimes it was just us.
Right.
But I recall that part of it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then how did we fall in love? Well, how did it happen, honey?
Well, truth be told, being friends, we were friends for a long time, many
Yes.
years.
Yep.
I remember us talking about girls that you liked.
Yeah, I used to talk. I used to talk to you about girls that I like.
And I would talk to you about the boys, some of the boys that I kind of liked,
Yes,
right?
you did. Yep.
And after a while doing that, I realized that there was a little bit of jealousy there, if you know what I
Yes,
mean.
there was.
And then, you know, he started telling me that he liked me more than being friends, and he would like to pursue, you know, a relationship, date me
Absolutely.
as boyfriend and girlfriend. And honestly, at that point in my life, yeah, it sounded good, but I heard it,
He
and
was not interested.
no, it's not that I wasn't interested. It's like not getting the information to take you to that phase of your life. So I'm like, oh my God, like, what do I know about relationships? And I'm like, we're having such a great friendship.
Yeah,
Why did you want to spoil that?
That's the point. You didn't want to change the dynamic of our relationship. But the truth be told, guys, that, you know, after growing up with her, and I think she turned about like 17, 18 years old, I saw this beautiful, gorgeous, amazing young lady just transform right before my eyes. It's like you just wake up and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, this girl is beautiful. She's gorgeous. Her body starts to show out, you know, the curvaceous body and all those things start to, y'all know what I'm talking about. The lips and the the hips start to show out and all of that stuff. And I just start to have this kind of attraction for her. And I think you hated me for doing that.
I wouldn't call it hate.
You
but
disliked me for it.
I felt like you were changing the whole dynamic of our friendship by asking me to date you.
Oh, wow. Wow. I just couldn't resist her anymore. I pursued her for 1 year. Why would you let a man that you already know from childhood pursue you for 1 year, honey, before you gave me a chance to date you?
But you know what? When I think about it, like, you know, giving my heart to God and, learning about God's way,
Yes.
I think it was the right thing to do. I
Wow.
mean, I could have jumped into it and it could have been another way, if you know what I'm saying.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I think when I think about, the word of God and how you're supposed to, be and how you're supposed to act
Yeah.
and, circumspectly and stuff, I realized that I was already acting that way.
Wow.
Because
You're right.
yeah, when I think about it, I really do
You did.
think that God kind of shielded me a little bit. Not that
Whoa,
He
whoa, whoa,
wanted
whoa,
me.
whoa, whoa.
Not
Hold
that
on a
He
minute
wanted
there.
me to say.
What do you mean
no,
God shielded you? I was not a monster.
No,
Ah,
not
come
like
on
that.
now.
He protected
hear
me.
that?
God protected me for the time that we were supposed to get
I
together.
love you, man. And that is the truth. I literally pursued her and she said no for 1 full year. I mean, she was very devastated about the fact that I tried to change the whole dynamic of the relationship. And she wanted to know why I would want to mess up a good friendship that we have had since we were kids growing up. But anyway, this is the highlight. She wrote me a letter on April the 10th, 1989. She wrote me this letter and told me in the letter that she's going to give me an opportunity to prove to her that I am the man that she would love to date. And guys, all I needed was an opportunity. You see, I tell men all the time that, listen, you have to be ready for the right woman. And when the right woman comes along, you have to know that you are in a position to win her heart. The truth be told, that woman should not pursue a man. My wife didn't pursue me.
That's
I
right.
pursued her. And a man knows exactly what he wants out of a relationship. And I think you really work out, man. You make me work for you,
Yeah,
baby.
you're supposed to work for
You
me.
make me work for you,
You're
man.
supposed to.
Yeah. But anyway, guys,
That's what makes it special.
absolutely. So that's a part of the beauty of our friendship and our relationship.
So then I remember after us dating for about
4 months?
4.5 months.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
His mom migrated to the U.S.
Yes.
and then he was a part of that package. I remember graduating from high school that same year. And no, actually it was a couple of months after you were supposed to leave, I was graduating.
Yes.
And so he got his ticket and then he wanted to wait for my graduation. So he changed the date for leaving. And I think that was, oh my God, it made my heart melt
Yep.
that he wanted to prolong the time so he could spend a little bit more time with me and be at my graduation. That was very special to me. But then there come the time when he was supposed to leave and I was devastated. You want to talk more about that?
Well, yeah, I remember, finding out that my mother was migrating to the States, come to the United States to live, and we were literally going to take residence in New York City, and I told her that I'm leaving, and I remember she saying, "Oh, when you get to New York, and you're gonna see all those beautiful, attractive, sexy women, you're gonna forget about me.
I did say that.
You're not gonna remember me. This relationship is over." And I'm like, no, I'm gonna still remember you. I'm gonna still come back. I'm gonna marry you. And she was like, "Oh, please, I've seen movies. I've heard about stories that all these men go up there and meet all these fancy, pretty girls and forget about their wives, forget about their mate." And so that was actually in her mind. And I remember the day when I was supposed to leave. I went to her house and I was speaking to her about it, and she just started to cry, and she was just crying and was like, "Oh, please don't forget about me. I love you. Why do you have to leave? Why can't we just be together?" And I'm
You're
like,
making me tear up. You're
Yeah.
making me tear up, babe. Oh my God.
Oh my God!
I am.
Man. I
Yeah.
kind of you kind of take me back there too.
Yeah,
it was a
remember.
very that
Yeah.
morning, that day was a very, oh my God, baby, you got tears in your eyes. That day was very difficult for the two of us, but I promised you that I was never gonna forget about you. I was always
Yeah, you
gonna be
did.
there. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna marry you, And yeah, and so we literally had a long distance relationship for almost what,
About four and a half
4.5 years. So from 1989, July 1989, we had a long distance relationship. So I used to travel. I used to come back to Jamaica like every year to see her and see my family. But the truth be told, back then there was no email, there was
Right.
no cell phones, there were no live chat and WhatsApp and
Facebook
and
and all of that
Facebook
stuff.
and
Yeah.
video chatting and all that kind of stuff. So we literally were communicating by mail, guys. Snail mail. The U.S. Postal Service and I were the best of friends. I mean, every week,
Twice a week.
twice a
2,
week,
3 letters.
I was just sending letters. Like as soon as I go to the post office and I put a letter in the mail, I would come home and start writing another one. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of these letters right now. Here are some of these letters that I'm talking about. I mean, guys, the dates and the time goes back way back. I mean, yeah. What did you do with the letters I wrote you? Because you didn't show me no letters. What
Keep
happened?
asking me about that. I think when I did come to see you, and I never went back home.
Okay, they just disappeared. But
They-
I kept
they
my
stayed
letters.
home.
I kept the first letter she wrote me in 1989, April the 10th, 1989. That was the first letter. I still have it. I laminated it. I showed it to my kids, and I hopefully in the future I'll show it to my
Actually,
grandkids.
you've asked me this question so many times. What did I do with your letters? And to be honest, the other day I was reminiscing on that same question and thinking to myself, what happened to my letters? But I think I really do remember.
Where are they?
Okay, you remember how strict my parents were.
Oh yeah, she had a
Yes.
real
So,
strict parents.
so I
Yep.
couldn't keep those letters. There was nowhere for me. I had a journal, and my mother would read my journal. So where would I keep those letters? So when I thought about it, I think after I read them and I wrote back to him, I
You probably just threw them out.
I think I ripped them out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she
Because
was
the memories are still here,
still there.
still in my
Well,
mind.
That's good
So
to
paper
know.
means nothing.
Well, they do mean a lot,
I mean,
but
you know.
I know I still have you, so
Memory is what counts.
the memories is what counts. And I remember after a while, my mother asked me, "What are you gonna do with that young lady in Jamaica? Are you going to marry her? Or what are you planning on doing?" That I think was that in 1993. My mother asked me that question, and I decided to take the relationship a lot serious. And I went to Jamaica and I asked for her hand in marriage. I literally asked her parents to marry her. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when I literally came to your house, you were sitting down, I think you were in the living room, and your mom was sitting there and your dad was in the other room, and then her mother called her father and said, Dorian is here to talk to you about something, and her mother was dying.
That is what stands out for me specifically. My mother's laughter.
Yes.
I guess it was joy and happiness knowing
Probably
that.
was,
knowing that someone who she kind of looked up to as an upstanding
we grew up
gentleman.
together. She known me since I was a kid.
I know,
so.
but just seeing the way you carry yourself, I think she was thinking that you are the kind of person that she would want for her daughter, and I think she was happy why she laughed the way she did.
Well, she laughed, and
She laughed. She
oh
really
yeah,
laughed.
she had a good laugh. Like, what is this kid come and talk about? He's gonna ask for my daughter hand in marriage. Anyway, her father came into the room, and I told her dad that, listen, I love your daughter. We've been friends for a long time, and I know we kind of kept it secret for a while, but you guys figure out that something is going on between the two of us, and and I would love to marry your daughter, and I come to ask for your blessings. And her father looked at me and asked me this question: why do you think that you are the right one for my daughter? Guys, I talk about this all the time, and I'm very big on the reality that a woman shouldn't go looking for a man. I think, it's important for the father to protect their daughter. A matter of fact, we're living in a culture right now where the man is often, the father is kind of absent from their daughter's life, and it shouldn't be that way. That's not how
Right.
God intended for it to be. Unfortunately, that is the situation in a lot of family. But I remember your father asking me some serious question like, what make you think you're ready? One of the things I admire about my wife and her father is they have a great relationship. And that is how it's supposed to be. I believe that a father is the gatekeeper of their daughter's heart, you know, and most father would like to put that man that wants to marry their daughter through the relationship appraisal process, you
Yeah.
know, through the vetting process to see whether he's a punk or
That's
he's a
right.
real man,
Yeah.
if he understands who he is and where he's going. Because a real father that have a good relationship with his daughter can see a joker from a mile away, you know. And they gave me their blessing.
Yeah.
They did. And you know, it was awesome. And in 1994, I came to Jamaica and I got married to this amazing, wonderful, beautiful,
And
gorgeous,
27 years later,
beautiful, sexy, you know,
yeah,
attractive.
got it. Thank you.
I
Thank
just
you.
can't get enough of you.
Thank
and,
you.
and that's kind of how our story has been. My wife and I, we have two boys. Darnell is 25 years old, our oldest son, and our younger son, Jaden, he turned 19 this year. October the 21st, he turned 19 years old. For our 25th anniversary, I remarried you. Remember
Yeah,
that?
we were married to each other.
Yes,
It
we
was-
did.
It was
We did.
absolutely fantastic.
Yes, you know, I always say that she's so nice, I decided to marry her twice. So I took her to Paris after, I took her to London, and then we went back to Jamaica to celebrate also. So I think it was about 15 days of celebration.
Yeah.
From Paris to London to Jamaica, and we had a great time. Wow. The thought just came to me that our friendship is adorable. I really savor and just
It
honor
is.
our friendship, you know.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal because you don't really find this kind of friendship in a lot of marriages.
Wow.
A lot of people are lacking the friendship factor,
Yes.
and it's very important. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
Even if you're not friends before, like we were from like so many years ago, you meet someone, you have to become friends with them before you marry them. You can't
Absolutely.
you don't just meet someone today and marry them tomorrow
You
and don't know anything
No, you
about
don't.
them. But even if you don't have such a solid friendship for 10, 20, 30 years, you still can meet someone in a year and still build from that.
Absolutely. You know, I say this, that marriage takes work.
It does.
I don't believe in this hard work thing that people promote relating to marriage. Anything in life that is of great value, it takes work. I mean,
Yep.
my wife and I, we've been friends for a long time. We grew up together. But then after getting married, we found out that our love for each other alone won't make our marriage work.
That's true.
We had to go to work. We had to learn how to understand the different dynamic between you and me, you know, biologically, how you were created and how I was created. We had to develop our skills. We had to get wisdom, knowledge, understanding
Yes.
on what make a marriage work. And I think that was the difference maker or the change breaker in our lives, you know. And 27 years of marriage, and I am happy, man. I'm really in love
I am
with this
happy.
lady. I just adore you for who you are and what you bring to my life, you know. We have had our time of ups and downs. We had our valley
Yeah.
moment, we have our mountain peak moment, and there are times when we were just neutral, just staying steady but not necessarily growing. But we decided to work. We decided to put in the work. We decided to be intentional about our love and our marriage, our relationship. We decided to put God first in what we do, and God knows, man, I would do it again and again
I
and
would do it again, too.
and again with you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, it's very important in marriage to, you know, communicate with
Yes.
your spouse. And so often, like, he would just say to me, "Babe, I love you," out of the blue. And it took me a while, like, after we married, to get used to, you know, even some of the little nice names he would call me, like babe
Sugar.
or honey and sugar. And I was like, why is this man calling me honey?
Yeah.
you know.
She
But after a while, you know, just learning and realizing, you know, the dynamics of marriage and how you're supposed to be treated, you know, as the woman and how you're supposed to treat your husband and stuff like that, it made me realize, you know, that I too had to do my share of work, you know, and, you know, it's so natural now. Like our friendship, it's just
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And you know, the truth is that after a while, you begin to realize that marriage takes two people that are committed to each other.
Exactly.
And we have learned about the different dynamic of love. That love is not just about the sex. It's not just
Right.
about the emotions. It's not just about how, you know, you really feel about each other, but it's the commitment that you're willing to make, and also the sacrifice you're willing to make for each other.
Right, and you have to
Yeah.
also be responsible and accountable.
To each other, yeah.
Right.
And that's it. You know, guys, that's our love story, and we're gonna stick with it. God has been good.
Yes,
I
He has been.
I love this chick. She hates when I say
And
that.
I love this man right here.
Why you keep
You're my boo.
why you keep pulling on? You keep
You're
doing
my boo.
that. Come
I
on.
do
You know
what-
I don't like when you do
Okay, you don't like it, but I love it. So,
that. Okay, all right. So I give up. There you go. Sometimes you just have to make those sacrifices. You know, hey, she like to pull on my beard. I don't like it, but I just let her do it because it's just it's a what is it for you?
it makes me happy. that's
Make you
all.
happy?
Yeah, it just
Okay,
makes me
good.
happy.
So if it makes you happy, makes
I'm
me
a simple
happy too.
gal, you know that, right?
Oh,
It doesn't
yes,
take
you
a
are.
lot to make me happy.
Oh, I know. And then there's
Okay.
moments when it takes a whole lot to make you
Yeah.
happy. Well, it's a part of life.
It's the process.
Oh, we're just giving you guys all these nuggets, man. You know, but
It's the process.
But guys, you know, keep working on yourself, keep building yourself, keep building your marriage, keep building your relationship. It's really about knowing who you are,
Yes.
knowing where you're going and how you're gonna get there. We don't do life without God. We consider Him to be the best thing that ever happened to our lives and our life. You know, we try to exemplify and we try to put God first in everything that we do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look back at my life and I say, thank God for you, and I thank God for the journey. I couldn't do it without her. Could I do life? Yes, I can do life alone. But the fact that I'm now married to you, it's my responsibility, and it's our responsibility to learn how to coexist and
Yeah.
learn how to do life together.
True.
And we have learned to master that. And we are at a great place in our marriage right now, and God knows everything just working so well. Are there bumps in the road? Yes, but we know how to get through those, navigate through it,
Yes.
fight through it,
Yes.
move through it, so that we can be better together. And so, guys, thank you for watching. Really do appreciate you guys. How did you and your spouse meet? We would love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear your story. Just leave a short comment in the comment section, and we definitely try to respond to all of them. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, guys, thank you for watching. We really appreciate you.
Awesome.